Hi there, Eric Turnison here. So today, really excited, I'm here at Air Studios, and today we're going to be mastering the music that we recorded a couple weeks ago with the Northern Film Orchestra. The last couple of weeks we've been spending a lot of time mixing the pieces in preparation for this. And they're sounding really great. So, and to be honest, like mastering is a little bit of a dark art to me. I'm not really familiar with all the pieces of it. So today I'm really curious and excited to learn and observe somebody going through the process in real time. And that's something that I'm going to be sharing with you in the behind the scenes videos. And so hopefully you'll get to learn from this experience as well.
So at this stage we've just run everything through analog. It's partly a nice way for me to listen to all the tracks, listen to them through, get a sort of feel for the overall sonic space or something. And then I tend to do broad stroke changes in analog. So I use words like open or lively or rhythmic or supported. And they all have sort of rough frequency or sonic meanings to me, but actually they don't tend to be so specific as I'm always going to add this high frequency band to get lively. It's more like this piece of equipment is making something sound more subdued, or it's making it sound a bit more brilliant. And so sort of putting everything in and out, having a good listen to the difference that it's making, and starting to build up a picture. Sort of mastering for me goes in layers. And so it's like starting down that process and doing the first couple of layers and getting an idea of where I think it's heading in my head, and whether the individual pieces of equipment or individual changes are getting us closer or further away from that end.
It's all right actually, because there are enough elements in there that the heart comes through nicely, and it kind of says hello, I'm here.
Yeah, I think that's enough, going on to just kind of
yeah.
So we talked about going through the analog process, and we just went through all the digital process. So can you talk a little bit about what we just did for these pieces?
The digital is about making them sort of cohesive. So we brought them up to level that we want, but without squashing it too much and leaving plenty of room for the kind of bigger peaks or the big bass drum or the anything like that, and making them sound cohesive with each other. So making sure the levels were correct between the three tracks. If people are skipping through, when they all get released, when they're all out in the world together, you want them to feel like a body of work. I decided that they needed a bit of compression, just to glue them a little bit on something that's been written very nicely and orchestrated nicely and played nicely and recorded nicely and mixed nicely. Then you kind of all your levels stack up quite well, and mastering only needs to be a kind of just a little lift at the end.
Do you make allowances for things like YouTube, what they, in terms of, because they'll compress it obviously when it's uploaded? Do you make allowances for that in your levels of mastering?
So I don't do different masters for different platforms, but what you can do is know that the streaming services are going to normalise it and are going to, unless people have actively switched it off, are going to level match things so that the sort of listening experience across all music is consistent, which means that we can just think about what changes are beneficial to the music without worrying about pushing it too hard for the sake of it sounding as loud as the next piece. Oh, and the other thing I do for streaming is I normally master to minus 0.5 dB true peak.
Yes.
And that just leaves a little bit of space for when they get converted into MP3s. Inevitably a bit of gain gets added, and if you're slamming up against zero anyway, it then distorts.
Yeah.
So it just leaves a bit of headroom.
Okay, so we just wrapped up the mastering session here at Air Studios, and everything sounds so amazing. It's just really cool to be in this room that's specifically set up for producing really high quality music. Like hearing the music out of these speakers is just a really great thrill. And it's also really cool to be surrounded by experienced people with very precise ears. You know, you've got the mastering being done by Cicely and Jack Hughes here, who is the mixing engineer on this project. And to be honest, like the level of A/B they're doing between unaffected tracks and then tracks that they're applying different things to achieve their vision, like honestly, I can't really hear the difference all the time, but the level of precision that they're able to be attentive to is pretty remarkable. And so I'm just glad to have that level of talent working on the project and in the room. But I definitely hear the final product at the end of the day. Sounds really great, and compared to the mix, the master version just has this particular polish to it and sheen that really makes it stand out and feels complete to me. So I'm pretty excited about that.